Hey, this is Shane Bishop. We're coming at you live. Actually, this is pre-recorded from the cave. We're going to do a review on the Iron Man Mark 43 figures that have been released. I believe there may be one or two more that are going to come out soon, but we've got 4 for you right here. We've got this age Figuarts. We've got the typical Hasbro figure that everybody's seen. We'll do a brief review on that because everybody's seen the review on that. We also have the suspect bootleg Mark 43 from China. And then we also have the second suspect figure, the Select, which happens to say Marvel Legends on the back. Mark 43 appears to be a nice figure in the box, but we'll unbox them and we'll see how they are. We'll start off with the Hasbro figure because that'll be fast and we know most about this figure already. Alright, so here we go with the Hasbro Mark 43. You know, it's not a bad figure compared to some of the figures that have been released previously. They molded this figure in a metallic red. You can look at it, I can see it up close, you may not be able to. But everything else that's been painted on here, your gold, some of the silver over here was molded that way. The eyes were painted. His arc reactor is just a sticker. This is just paint right here. The detail is pretty nice on it, considering Hasbro doesn't put that much time into their figures, especially with paint and detail. It does come with a spare head with Tony Stark's face, and you know, his eyes don't look all lazy-eyed. It does look pretty nice. I actually do like this figure a lot. I have it displayed at work with the rest of my Avengers, mainly because I don't care if a cheaper figure gets stolen. And then it comes with the left foot for Thanos. He stands at about 6 inches like the rest of them, I'm sure. There you go. He's got the ankle pivot. Moves back and forward, right, left. Can move his knees up and down. Get the waist swivel. He's got his elbow. His arm can go up from the shoulders. The shoulder pads move, which makes it great for posing in different action poses. His head goes up about that far, and he bends about that far back. Can bend him forward. There you go. Swap the heads out. Muscle it on there. There you go. That looks pretty cool. I actually have mine posed like that. And you know, it's pretty basic. If you have a different Hasbro Iron Man figure, it's pretty similar to this. Is it worth the $20? Sure. But the other figures may be a little bit better. We'll look into those next. Alright, so next up we have the quote-unquote bootleg Marvel Select. I really don't know that much about this figure. I've researched it as much as I could. It's a nice figure, I will admit that. Let's just start with the size on this one before I go any further. But he's almost about 8 inches tall, 7.5. You know, he'll fit in nicely with your Marvel Select figures. He comes with 2 extra heads. Tony Stark head, which he doesn't look goofy either. That's a nice head. That's a really nice head, actually. Nice head sculpt. You've got the helmet with the mask. Let's see how well this thing fits on here. If I recall, I think it might fit a little goofy before. It doesn't look bad at all. So, again, I bought this figure off of eBay. So if you see it up there, that's where I got it. It comes with 2 Infinity Gauntlets. One with, you know, a pretty sinister looking grabbing hand, and one that's just a fist, which we're used to seeing. This figure right here, I believe they Molded this thing in straight to red, metallic red. Everything is painted. It's got pretty good detail, and I was pretty impressed with this figure and the detail that it's got. As you can see here, you know, there's a lot of silver and gold. You know, his arms, as far as the articulation goes, you know, his arms will go, they'll go up, his shoulder pads will go up, his arms actually go up pretty significantly. He's got the waist swivel, turns around, let's see, he doesn't really look up very well. That's about as high as it goes. He looks down great though. One thing I did notice about this is he's double knee jointed, and it gets kind of goofy. But I do like this feature on this figure because, you know, you can give it a little bit more of a better action pose than you can with Hasbro figure. One thing I wanted to point out is the box for this figure, which is why I call it the suspect bootleg figure. Okay, so we've got a clamshell design here. You know, almost typical Marvel Select packaging, minus the bubble and the cardboard. However, it does say Marvel Legends on the back. So there's some questionable things going on this box. The main thing is there's no barcode down here. There's no barcode down here. There's no way to look it up where it came from, what it's, who makes it. There really isn't a lot of detail, you know, and you can compare it to a normal Marvel Select box. And we've got the proof of purchase down here. We got the bubble, the cardboard. If this were to be a Select, maybe a pre-new Select, I don't know. I actually prefer this clamshell box. I wish they would come in it, but they probably won't. I'll hold the figure up again for you so you're not just looking at my mug. Here's the back of them. And again, the detail on this figure is really nice. The eyes are painted. The arc reactor is painted. The repulsors on both of his hands are painted. He's looking pretty excited right here. Then it also comes with 2 fists. I'm not going to go ahead and pop them off because it's a pain, but he comes with 2 fists, and these are painted. Your repulsors are painted as well. And why it comes with these is beyond me, but I think it's awesome. These you can actually put on the Iron Man figure if you wanted to do something a little crazy in your display. But as far as this figure goes, I think it's a bootleg. I paid, I believe, $30 for it shipped from China. And I'm still really boggled by the double knee joint, but it's awesome. So I think that does it for this figure. Alright, so our third figure today is another suspect. Actually, this is a bootleg. We'll go over the box first. Here's the box. If you get up on eBay, you search for the Mark 43, you will no doubt find this box. This one, however, does have a barcode. We looked up the barcode, and it takes you to a product called black seed oil. Why or what that means, I don't know. But that's besides the point. Let's take a look at the figure. Alright, so size-wise, I haven't even checked it out. Oh, okay. He's about 7 inches, so he'll fit in with your Marvel Select figures. As you can see, it's got pretty good detail. You know, a lot of the silver in the paint. One concern with this figure, as well as the previous bootleg figure, is the paint does chip a little bit. But, you know, it's China, and don't put them in your mouth because there's probably lead in this paint. It also comes with 3 more sets of hands. It comes with fists. I'm not going to put them on the figure. It comes with an open palm. And then it comes with a kind of a closed, almost not a fully closed fist. Actually, these are both the same. So actually, the top part of the hand is a little bit longer on one than the other. I'm not going to swap them out. It does come with a handful of these joints that are similar to the Revoltech joints. I haven't swapped any of them out, done anything with them. I have a feeling that it's there because they probably break from time to time. Here's the figure. We'll go over the articulation now. His head moves down like that. Actually, the head doesn't really move down that much at all. He doesn't really look up too well. His arms don't go out as far as the previous one, but you know, enough for him to look like he's having a party. Waist swivel, kinda, sorta. You know, he can't do none of that. There's no breakdancing going on with this figure. He also does have a double joint in his knee, as the previous bootleg did, except your pegs are hidden, which I do like. The ankles don't do much. And, you know, I really haven't said this, but they all have the peg holes in the bottom. You can obviously put your... Actually, these peg holes are huge. You can't put anything in that. Never mind. So, there's that other suspect bootleg. I don't recommend getting this one. My opinion. The other one is better, and I think they are both better than the Hasbro figure. This one, I believe I paid around $35, maybe $40. I don't remember, to be honest with you. No, this might have been 50 shit. But I purchased this, and I purchased all these for the purpose of making this video. So everyone can choose which Mark 43 they want for their collection. You know, since there's so many out there, there's different sizes. You know, a lot of reviewers just review it, tell you their opinion. You'll get mine a little bit, but mine doesn't matter. Alright, for the last and final Mark 43 that we're going to go over is by far my favorite figure. Especially after checking it out before we made this video. Here goes the box. I'm sure we all recognize the typical SH Figuart box. There's the back. Take a gander. Pause now if you want to see some action shots. There you go. Let's get that out of the way. There's a lot to go over about this figure. A lot more than the previous three that I went over. The Japanese build their figures way different than we do here. And you notice I say Japanese compared to the other ones that I said Chinese. I think Chinese because there's no copyright laws. I don't know. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Go ahead. Don't be a douche about it though. Alright, but let's see. It comes with 6 hands, 6 different hands. It comes with 2, 4, 6 different effects. These go in his feet. You can see a little tiny hole that sticks into the pegs into his hole. What I really like about these figures is, if you can see this hand, it's got a little thingy sticking out of there, and that's so you can you know, stick his repulsor blast on there, which is awesome. Compared to the Voltec figures, where, you know, it's got the opposite of that. Those typically fall out, at least in my experience. So you can just pop that on there and pa-cow! It's awesome. Alright, so, but one thing that I really don't like about this figure, and probably the only thing I don't like about this figure, is when you switch the hands, you gotta pull this piece off and pop it into that hole every time. And it's kind of a pain. I do not recommend this figure for children. I don't recommend this figure for anyone under 21, to be honest with you. But, alright, so we'll pull this out of there just so I can mess with the figure a little bit and go over some of the articulation and how it was built. These figures are built actually a lot different than the other ones. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's some of the pieces that are in here up under his armpit that are for his arm. These obviously have a different type of joint setup than the other ones. As you can see, that shoulder pad goes up, his arm goes up pretty far, like that. His head looks up pretty nicely, goes down. Again, it's a different setup than the other figure. Actually, the whole neck moves back and forth. He's got the torso. He also has I kept calling it a waist swivel. It's torso. It's going to be your torso in the other one. He can also spin here, which the other figures don't do. The knee design is kind of similar to the other ones, but I think it's a little bit more sturdy. This figure is made out of plastic, along with looks like a metal piece that they use to attach these instead of plastic pegs. I noticed that. I don't know if you can zoom in and maybe see that little hole in the back, but that I noticed is on quite a few pieces of the figure. A lot of them are hidden, which is awesome. But there's one right here, there's one here, which gives this thing awesome articulation because its foot can move around pretty much any way a regular humans could, and then some. That'd be a broken ankle if that was me. The paint apps on this are amazing. I am not really sure what they molded this in originally, probably red, and then they painted it, but the detail is so amazing on this figure. Definitely worth the money. Like, I'm about to knock all the other 6-inchers out of my collection, at least Mark 43, which is only 6 inches. The Hasbro one, he's going in the box. This is going to replace it. The legs are kind of weird. If you look in there, you'll also see, don't get all pervy out there, but you can also see that the joint setup is different than the other ones. He can almost do, actually he can do this. I'm not even going to try it because I'm going to break it, but it's got a lot of articulation, super articulation, super detailed. The face looks amazing. I'd almost want to compare this to a Hot Toy, just a 6-inch version. I paid about $65 for it, I believe, maybe $70 for it shipped. I think it's well worth the money. Again, these Japanese figures, as most people probably know, are a little expensive, but you usually get what you pay for with these. And then everybody complains about, oh, why are they so expensive? Well, it's limited quantities. Hasbro is going to produce, thousands and thousands and thousands of this 6-inch figure, their 6-inch figure. They can charge $20. Plus, it's cheaper. Less time goes into it. They don't have people sitting there hand painting these for hours, because I imagine this takes hours to hand paint. But I honestly don't know the process in painting this figure. I can research that for you and get back to you on that, because I will find that out. But let's see, here's the back of the figure. One thing I didn't mention is the arc reactor is actually molded on there. It doesn't light up, it's not painted, it's not blue. I don't know if you can zoom in on it, but there's pretty nice detail in the arc reactor. It looks just like it does in the movie. This is by far my favorite Mark 43 again. Again, it comes with all these accessories. And one thing that I did not like is it didn't come with a flight stand. Maybe I got gypped, maybe not. But there is no flight stand on the box. It shows it, doing a flight pose. But I do know that they also sell flight stands specifically for these. So maybe that's just a way for somebody else to make a little extra money. But here we go, and I think that's all I have to say about this figure, other than it's amazing. And then the size of this guy stands at about 6 inches tall, so he'll fit perfectly with their 6-inch figures. If you set them up with your legends, you might make your legends look like crap, but if you set them up with other similar high-end figures, there you go. You got a nice setup going on. I guess that's it. We'll see you next time.